certainly, there are a lot of things on the tape that you need to build off of that are good. Need more of the good than the bad. And, in the end, you can't do things to beat yourself. We've said this here for a long time, but the number one way to win games is to not beat yourself. And, Saturday night we did some things that beat ourselves. And, in this league and where we're at, I don't think that anyone can go out there and have some of the meltdowns that you have and expect to go out there and win the game. So for us, it's a learning experience. This team, we've got to learn how to win together. We got to learn how to finish games, and we've got to learn how, when you've got some momentum, to capture it, and it's some of the things that we've said before, but it's the truth. And it's one of those things that for us as a team, we've got progress to make. We have a lot of progress. We're a work in progress, but we need to make it, and we need to start correcting some of those things. Was excited about the fast start and the things that we wanted to do and come out and kind of set the tone early. And then, you get in the second half and we just had a lot of just miscues that cost us along the way. So, you can feel sorry for yourself or you can move forward, and we better move forward because we've got a really good opponent coming in this weekend. A team that's 3-1 should be 4-0, realistically. Really good defensive football team. Great play up front at linebacker. Really good secondary. And then offensively, they've been putting up points in big numbers. They established the run. They've got a really good offensive line led by a center who I think is a really good player at running back. They've got a good back, great balance, body control, a speed guy behind him. They roll 4 deep at tight end. At receiver is probably the best receiving core that we've played so far. So, and then they've got a quarterback that goes out there and runs the offense the way it's supposed to be run, puts the ball where it's supposed to be put. So, for us, we certainly we've got to improve. We've got to play better. It's always fun to play for homecoming because you get to represent the people who've done it before you. Get to kind of show your appreciation for them and the way that they've done it to put us in this position that we're in today. And, our kids, they're excited about the challenge. We've got great leadership. I've said that from the beginning. And our team, we're going to bounce back. We're going to keep working, and we're going to keep trying to work to fix the things we got to fix and move forward. So a lot of stuff off of the tape that we need to build off of, and a lot of stuff off of there that we got to get corrected. But we're going to work really hard this week to make sure we get those things tuned up and tightened up and hit the ground running on Saturday.
Coach, the 2 big plays you gave up on defense, mostly you played good defense for most, but those 2 big plays, what happened once you looked at them?
So it's 164 yards on 2 plays, and those are the things that, that kind of kill you. On the run, we were a little bit loose in the fit. They had a good scheme called for what we had, the pressure that we had on. We were a little bit loose in the run fit, and the ball got through there pretty clean. The problem was on the back end. We were supposed to rock and roll safeties off of it. We never got one back to the post, so there was no one fitting on the back end to be able to get the ball down, to get it on the ground. Both safeties fit the run on the outside, and then whenever he popped through the linebacker level, there was nobody there. So that's what happened. Good play call by them. We certainly could have fit it better even, up front. But the big issue right there, the reason it becomes a touchdown is we don't get them down on the back end because we were just miscommunication on where we were going to roll it. And then the pass play, we were in good shape. We had inside leverage. We didn't make the play on the ball. Really good throw by the quarterback, great catch. The thing is we had a chance to get them down at about the 40, and we went for a strip instead of securing the tackle and going for the punch, which is things that we teach. Those are things that it's a technique thing that we've got to get. We pointed it out. We got to get it corrected this week, but certainly had a chance to get them on the ground and have a chance to go out there and get a stop. So, that was the 2 things on those plays. It's certainly disappointing because as a defense, you come off the field and you feel really bad about it after that happens, but they really played. They played really well, and it's 2 big plays. But, again, we talk about it all the time. Every play matters, and doing your job to the best of your ability matters every play. You don't know what play it is. You don't know if it's in backed up or goal line or 2-minute or whatever the situation may be. So we had opportunities to get them down on the second one. Should have had an opportunity to get them on the ground on the first run, but, we didn't. And so here we are.
Coach, you mentioned about being able to capture momentum. In your mind, what is going to be the biggest thing you guys have to do to figure out how to do that and then be able to take it and produce points and continue to roll with that momentum?
So we work a lot of situations in practice, and I think you start harping on, okay, hey, we've got the ball here in the fringe, right? We're going in. We're getting close to getting points. We need to go. We need to get first downs, sustain drives, and go score. And I think you have to talk about it in practice, and you have to make sure they understand what the period is. What are you repping right here? What are you working in this possession? What are you working in this rack? And understanding that, okay, hey, look, this is the sudden change, right? Ball's down here. We got to go score. We got to go put it away. So as coaches, we're going to overemphasize it. We're going to be over the top on what's the situation, what's the point of emphasis in this period, where are we at on the field, and what are we trying to do. And last week I thought as a staff we tried to do that. Obviously it wasn't good enough. And for our team, at times there we did a good job early in the game of capturing momentum and playing off of each other. And then, you get to the third quarter and we had a little bit of a lull. And really in the second quarter, we had to settle for a field goal. Those are things that you never want to leave it. You never want to leave it up to chance. And kicking field goals, I've never done it. So, it's for me, it's pretty difficult, and I know everybody says, that's their job, and that's right. And they, as a field goal kicker, you're supposed to make it, but it ain't very easy to me. So as an offense, we need to go execute, go score touchdowns when we get down there. And then, I think we had some plays on special teams that kind of flipped momentum the other way. That were things that, truthfully haven't seen happen not one time since we've been here. So it's one of those deals, like I said, it's just we've got to learn how to win together, and we've got to learn how to relax and do our job when it's time to do it, and we'll get there. All right, we'll get there. We'll as a coaching staff, we're going to continue to work hard to put them in adverse situations in practice. We're going to continue to emphasize those things whenever the game's on the line, when you're in different situations, and our players are going to work their tails off to get it fixed, and we're going to do that, and it's going to take all of us to get it done, but it's just daily effort and daily grind at your work, and just trying to chip away at it and put them in more and more situations where we've got to go out there and perform, and we just got to work through it.
You said on the conference call that South Alabama last year was a team that had to learn how to win.
Yeah.
Can you look at some specific things that you can pick out that maybe they're doing this year that maybe they haven't done the last couple of years?
Getting kind of early into it, I think they're a lot better in what they're doing. Coach Womack was there, then left, and then came back. So they completely changed schemes while he was gone. So you look at them defensively, and certainly they're a lot better defensively, fitting the run and doing the things that playing the defense the way that he wants it played. And it's a defense that's really – everyone's got to be in the right place, because the way that they play it, who they want the ball to roll back to, and that guy's got to fit it, and he's got to make the play, and they're doing that this year. Where last year, they're figuring it out, right? It's a little bit different. They're trying to figure out those fits. Offensively, they're running the ball better this year. They're better on the offensive line, have a good running back, and they're running the ball better this year, which – running the ball, you've heard me say it 100 times, and it is what it is. But, when you run the ball well, you've always got a chance to win, and they're running a lot better. So it sets up everything off of their pass game, and they do a good job of packaging it. The runs, they commit to it. They commit to the run. Even early in games when they haven't run it great, they continue to commit to it, and it just sets up their passing game. And they've done a great job, I think, of staying committed to it. And they've run the ball effectively when they needed to, especially in the second half with some of these wins that they had that have been big wins. In the second half, they've run the ball effectively and finished games out.
Is your running game where you want it to be right now?
No, definitely not. I think the running game, it goes hand in hand, and everybody, it's not just the offensive line, right? The way that we play, we have tight ends involved in it all the time. So tight ends are involved in the mix. Certainly it's O-line. And then, running backs, they've got to have eyes in the right spot and press and hit runs the way you want them to. But I think one of the hardest things in sports is to get 5 people to work together in sync and play the way that you need them to play. Football is not a stagnant game. You can write up all you want on the board on X's and O's and draw them right where you want them. And you can make plays look really good, but the game's not stagnant. It moves. And especially in this league, there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of coordinators that are very aggressive. They move the front. They plug linebackers. They do all these things. And you've got to have 5 guys where you can line up and you can set a call and you can call a combination how you're going to get there. Then all of a sudden on the snap, boom, it happens, and the front moves and the backer moves, and then all of a sudden this combination turns into that one. So we've got to get those guys. We've got to continue to work it, continue to give them those looks, and we've got to continue to kind of grow together a little bit and kind of play in sync. And we do have some older guys on the offensive line, but we have a lot of guys that haven't played together and certainly haven't had a lot of reps and seeing some of these things. So for us, no, we're not where we want to be. I mean, we're not where we want to be probably anywhere. But it's, going into week 5. And typically, I don't think any coach would ever stand up here and say, we're right where we need to be to go out there at the end of the year and go play the way we want to play. But we've got to continue to get better, and I've got to do a better job. I've got to get us in advantage runs and make sure I put us in good looks that we can handle it and call things that we're confident that our guys can go out there and handle. So, when you say it's the run game, I'm certainly not saying any one group. Yes, we need to get better in the run game, and it's all of us.
Coach, y'all had more turnover probably in special team coordinator than any of the coaches over the years since 18. And yet, is this year the issues with how much of it has to do with just not all on the same page with the new special teams coach, or how do you explain?
I don't think that's been the issue at all. We work pretty much, year round on special teams, summer, spring, everything. We haven't really had a whole lot of miscues, till this point, in this game. And the punt was a miscommunication. We had a specific game plan, and we did not execute that the right way. And so the center was kind of off and where he was going to snap the ball. And he's got to make the snap. But, we've got to all do our job right there. And guys that are usually very dependable kind of just, had a mental error. And it happens, and it was critical at a critical time, and it wasn't very good, obviously. The punt, the muff punt, you catch enough of them, it's going to happen. EG hadn't dropped a punt since Georgia Southern in 2019. So, it could be a whole lot worse. And then the field goal was just didn't execute it. And so those things, it hasn't really been an issue. I think we've executed well on special teams. The one thing that has showed up a little bit, we got too many men in the backfield against Rice on an alignment, and we do shift and we have unique alignments. Those are things that are probably scheme related, and we've got to do a better job coaching, the discipline of, it's toe to toe. Make sure they know you're on the line of scrimmage so you're breaking the belt line. But the stuff last night or Saturday night was not, it wasn't scheme, it was just got to execute in critical situations and just came up short in some of those. So, it's, Luke has done a great job for us. He's, very unique in what he does. I think it plays to our kids' strengths. And I think they've really owned and really found ownership in the way that we're doing it. So it's not that. It's just, we've got to, like I said, everyone's got a job to do, and we got to do it well on command, when we're called to do it.
Coach, do you feel like this week has to be an almost a statement week for your team? And if so, what statement do you hope your team can put forward this week?
We're not worried about making a statement for anybody. We're worried about working our process and getting ourselves better to go out there and go compete and find a way to win on Saturday, every Saturday. That's what it is every week. It's not a statement to anyone else. We owe it to ourselves to do it that way. And we as coaches owe it to our players to give them the best, and they owe it to each other to give each other their best. And so for us, every week is just its own thing. It's its own entity, and it's its own fight that you got to go out there and prepare to fight. And you get caught up in making a statement for down the road, and then you're not worried about the right things, And for us, it's about what's in front of us right now. And this team, in the big picture, we can get a lot better this year, and we need to, and we're going to be a lot better by the end of the year. But this team has to get there by focusing on what's right in front of them. It's blinders on, one foot in front of the other. Take it every day, and we're not even worried about Saturday right now, truthfully. We're worried about getting a game plan together today. We're worried about our guys having a great off day, right? Making sure that they're rehabbing, they're recovering, they're at their academic appointments. And then on Tuesday, when we get to Tuesday, it'll be having a great Tuesday. So for us, it's about what's right in front of us. It's about what's right now. And like I said, if you get so caught up in the results, you forget about the process that gets you there. And we know this process works. All right, we've done it here for the last 5 years now. We know it works. The players know it works. Just because we're not getting the results right now doesn't mean that you hit the panic button and you scrap it and you go to something else. You keep working it. And I know it works. The kids know it works. We believe in it. We just got to work the process a little bit harder, and we got to find a way to go out there on Saturdays and execute in a way that's going to help us win.
Do you find that it's easy to keep the kids focused because you do know that this process works? I mean, are they? Is that something that comes a little bit easy because they know, hey, we can do this. This does work. Coach knows what he's doing, and we're confident, and keeping them kind of with those blinders on.
We've got a really good group of guys, and I don't know that it would matter either way. They come back and they come to work every Sunday, and it doesn't matter if you win or lose. They come back with the same focus, but it certainly doesn't hurt. When you have success doing it a certain way, it's a little bit easier to believe in. And one of the first things I told this team, whenever I got the job was, you write your principles in pen and you write your plans in pencil. And the things that you believe in, it doesn't ever change. The things that you know in your heart are the right way to do it, and the things that you know work, you don't change it. Plans change, right? Things happen. Yes, I mean, you don't plan on ever losing a game. Well, it happens sometimes. You don't plan on losing a player. It happens sometimes, and you just got to erase it, write a new plan, and go back to work. But if you believe in something, then you've always got the next step planned out, because it's what you believe in. It's what's at your core and what works. And for us, it's just what it is. And certainly no, the results that we want, that we haven't gotten them the last 2 weeks. But if you stray from that, what do the next 8 look like, right? If you scrap it all and you try to go a different way, I mean, we're not conceding the season. I mean, it's 4 weeks in. I mean, we're one conference game into the season. We got way too much with this team left in front of us, and we're going to keep working our processes, and we're going to keep working them better, and we'll get better results. I believe that. I know that. I've seen it.